everyone, it's Nisha. So it's time for my full face favorites. So these videos are quite long if you're here for the first time. Basically now and again I do those videos where I apply all my favorite makeup that I've been wearing for the last month or so. Instead of just showing you the favorites, I like to apply them and show you how they work. So let's start. Pin my hair. So what I apply in the morning is just serum, a Deva serum. I normally apply the vitamin C, E and ferulic acid, but I've just run out. But I have so many different Deva serums which you know I love, and they are inexpensive but very good. So I've been trying to use up this one, which is Matrixyl Synthe 6, and that is the anti-aging peptide with hyaluronic acid. So I just take about that much. I always squeeze into palm of my hand, go like this, and just apply it all over my face, under my eyes as well, and down my neck. The rest I always rub in my hands. And after that, I will let for this to sink in a bit. I just use an eye cream, and I use still in the mornings the Tranquillity Skincare Banish Puffy Eye Cream. You know, I've been using it for years. So I just squeeze tiny bit like this under each eye. Sorry about my nails, but as you know, I am pre-recording this video for you for when I'm away, and I haven't done my nails yet. I want to do them just before I go away, so forgive me. I will let that sink in, and now I'm not using any moisturizer, and I tell you why. Because, and this is something that if you've been with me for a long time, you see me using mostly in the summer. So I use this It Cosmetics CC Plus cream. I'm using one in medium. I've got the light one as well. So this is CC cream, so it's got all the skin benefit ingredients. So it's like moisturizer, primer and foundation in one. For CC cream, this is the best CC cream when it comes to coverage. It's got amazing coverage. I really like it. It's got SPF 50 in it, so I am covered. So I will squeeze one pump, and I find this one pump is plenty, and I apply this with my hand. I find it, maybe because it's like a moisturizer, there is best to apply it with your hand. And I go, normally I don't put foundations under my eye because I still use concealer, but this is, like I keep saying, like a moisturizer, so it's not very thick, but as you can see, the coverage is amazing. This is also very good if you want more coverage to use under your foundation. You know, you get a bit extra coverage and you get the SPF. So that's why I use it in the summer, because I feel it gives me the protection, and it's quite light, and it's basically to cut down on the products I'm using, so I don't have to use extra moisturizer as well. Okay, now for concealer, I'm still loving the Tarte Shape Tape concealer, and mine is in light medium. This is just new, and I just finished my other one. They last forever. It's a huge concealer. So I just go under my eyes like this, and then my nose. Always put concealer on my nose because of the consistency. It does cover my nose really well, whereas foundations usually are being repelled by my nose. Oh, and I forgot to bring a sponge. I usually apply it with a wet sponge, but I can do it with my finger. I also go over my eyelids with concealer. Like I've told you before, I don't really use eyeshadow primers. I feel concealer and a bit of powder on the top of it, it's plenty. And you know, I know not everybody likes this concealer. I've put too much on, and you know why? Because when I apply it with a wet sponge, obviously the sponge absorbs some, so I'm fine then. But like I said, I forgot the sponge. It's upstairs and I can't be bothered to go. But definitely using a wet sponge is the best way, especially for this concealer. If you have a very thin concealer, I think your finger is better, because like I said, the sponge absorbs a lot of the product. So if you're using quite thin concealer with a sponge, you might not get as much coverage. Make sure you pat it all in, stretch your eyes so it doesn't settle in those lines. And now I'm going to set it with Laura Mercier, it's the wrong one, Laura Mercier translucent powder. I love this one, and I also, you know, like the Kat Von D translucent powder, but I find this one is a bit lighter for the summer. I'm using Goss 02 brush. I use that one under my eyes, or I use the e.l.f. blush brush. Just set it and set it on my eyelid. You know, I pick up that much, but I really tap the excess off, so it's not too much, and a bit down my nose. Okay, now I'm going to use Laura Mercier mineral powder, which is a loose mineral foundation. I have two colors. I've got Rich Vanilla and Classic Beige. I've been using that for years, and like I said, I usually use it in the summer. I prefer the mineral foundation, I think, in the summer, and it gives you quite luminous look. Let me compare for you the Rich Vanilla to the Classic Beige. So this is Rich Vanilla. It's quite light, and Classic Beige is a bit darker. I don't know if you will be able to see it. It doesn't look like there's much difference, but what I usually do, I mix the two. So in one of the lids I will put a bit of Rich Vanilla on Classic Beige. I mean, of course you don't have to buy two, just remember Classic Beige is a bit darker than the Rich Vanilla. And I found this brush the best. If you want more coverage, you can use like a dense kabuki brush, but I've got the Bare Minerals Full Flawless Face brush, and it's a bit scratchy, but I don't know, I like it for my mineral foundation. So I go like this, tap off the excess and start buffing it in. And they will give you extra coverage. It is a bit messy, it goes everywhere, so be careful. But I just buff it down my neck as well. And I can put loads of it, and I don't feel makes me look very powdery. If it does, you know the trick, spray it with some sort of facial spray. I usually use MAC Fix Plus, and blow dry it a bit with the blow dryer so it melts it all together. But I don't do it often because I know throughout the day my natural oils will come out and it will melt all together anyway. Okay, now I bronze. My bronzer for the summer, and you know I've used it a lot last year as well, is the Senna Mineral Mix Advanced Mineral Makeup Pressed Cover and Finish Foundation. So they call it foundation, but I use this one as a bronzer because this is in dark. You can see I've hit the pan. I really love it. So I use this to darken up my face because I don't tan my face, and I think if your face is really white and you use very dark foundation, somehow looks a bit artificial. So I rather have the foundation lighter but bronze my face to make it darker. This brush is Jessup Tapered Face. I think this is one of those cheap eBay brushes, but I quite like it. I quite like it for my bronzer, and I just bronze not in the middle of my face, just on the outside and down my neck, because my neck is always white as well. And you know how much I bronze, it depends how dark the rest of my body is. So I basically try to match my face to the rest of my body. This powder is gorgeous. It's a very smooth. It's mineral, so it's matte as well. But I like other bronzers, but that's what I tend to use, and that's what I've been using for the last month. I also, if I want to get a bit darker, I use the Laura Mercier Ritual, which I've been using for which I've been using for ages. And again, because this is mineral baked, I feel that they give you like really smooth finish, so I will use that more on my cheeks. And I like my Hourglass bronzer. I like lots of bronzers, but like I said, this is what I've been using lately. And I forgot to do this little disclaimer. If you've seen any of my previous full face favorites and they are not in this video, that does not mean I don't like them anymore. I have so much makeup, I love it so much. This is purely for what I've been using lately. Okay, now for my blush. So now I will do blush, and I still love MAC Plum Foolery. It has a bit of shimmer. It is plummy, pinky, but it looks like it's got a bit of rose gold in it. It's really pretty. I like using those brushes for my blush. This one is from the Vanity Planet. Remember, a long time I got this set of brushes, very inexpensive brushes, and I still use quite a few of them. So I just put it lightly on my cheeks. There. Now for my highlighter, I've been loving the Benefit Dandelion because I've talked to you about it before. It is very subtle highlighter. I love those in your face highlighters, but like I said, especially when you're outside and you've got more mature skin, which is a bit textured and wrinkly, they can look too much, those really shimmery ones. This one is very subtle. I always use for my highlighter the Morphe M504 brush. I am not a fan of Morphe brushes, I must say. I've tried them, I don't know, last year. I bought some arrived already broken, the brush came off the handle. This one I bought because I think of Money MUA, and he always bragged about this brush for your eyes. I find it too big for my eyes, but I think I bought 2 or 3 of those because I really like them for my highlighter. I found if you use bigger brush, you might overdo a bit, and I just go on the top of my cheek here, and I like buff it in. Again, you can wait till you've put all of it on and then do the spray to melt it all together. And also you can use liquid highlighter if you want, but you can see it's not this really shimmery, it's more of a glowy highlighter, so I really like that. So that is my base done. I know, a lot of steps, but to me base is the most important thing. If I had to choose out of all my makeup, it would be my base. I can go out now, I don't care about the rest, what I do, but if I had to, I would be happy. I wouldn't be happy having a full eye makeup and no foundation, never. Okay, brows. I have loads of favorites. I love all the Benefit stuff for brows, and I usually use precisely my brow pencil, and then I use the L'Oreal because I usually use two different colors, darker one for the end of my brow, lighter one here, and I always set it with the Ready Set Brow. But because I'm thinking of stuff for holidays when I go away, I want something quicker, and I found in my in my drawer the Your Best Friend. I think you buy this on QVC. I think they used to be called something different, but this is a automatic eyebrow pencil, universal taupe. And what they mean by universal, anybody can use it. So the harder you press it, the darker color you get. And if you just do it lightly, the color is a bit lighter. And it is very good. It has quite a small tip, as you can see, and I really like it. So I want to just take that with me on holidays because I don't want lots of makeup products. I will do one brow just to show you again how I do it, because people always say, because I usually do the eyebrow off the camera, and because I have a separate video for how I do my brows, and the product might be different but the technique is the same. But I will do one for you now. Let me bring you a bit closer. Okay. So I brush my brow up after I've trimmed it. My brows need waxing actually. And I start here, very light strokes at first. And I outline the bottom of my brow. And all the time I'm doing it, I am brushing it, because you want to brush that product out a bit. I can never do them as good when I do them on the camera because I can't get comfortable. Then from about here, I draw like a parallel line and do this. Okay, still brushing it. And then at the front, I'm gonna use lighter strokes. I sort of draw little hairs that way. Keep brushing, because that's when you will see where you need to go over. And you can do it with any of your favorite pencils. It doesn't have to be this one, but like I said, this is working fine for me, and I'd rather to just take one pencil than two. I'm not saying I'm doing my brows the best, but that's how I do them. And after that, I take my Benefit Ready Set Brow Gel. I brush here up. Remember to trim your, I will leave you the link to my eyebrow routine video so you can see, because these hairs are usually quite long, so if you brush it up you might look like, you know. And then I sort of follow it that way. I brush them quite well, apply quite a lot of gel, because this gel will set and your brows will be good all day, even when you sweat. Okay, I'm gonna do the second one off camera. Okay, now on to eyeshadow. I'm really excited about it because I'm just about to show you two very inexpensive palettes that you get a lot for your money, and I've had these palettes for months and I've never used them. The first one is the Blank Canvas Cosmetics Master Series Palette 1, The Art of Perfection. You know how much like the Blank Canvas Cosmetics brushes. This was sent to me in one of the hampers. I can't remember. I think it might have been in a Easter one. So that's when I would have got that palette. And then look at this. Morphe 35 OS, which is all the oranges, but as they all shimmering eyeshadows. And I've had this palette, I kid you not, since before Christmas, and I put it in a box. I have a box where I put stuff for like giveaways, and I have it in there for some reason, and I just found it. I never had any Morphe eyeshadows. You know, there is always a lot of controversy here on YouTube about the Morphe product, but I think it's because people don't like it, that the big YouTubers are affiliated with them and get commission, and that does not bother me at all. So what? As long as they believe in the product, then, you know, go ahead and promote it and make commission. I do not care. But I don't know, I must have seen someone reviewing this palette and I was intrigued, so I bought it. But I've only started using it about a month ago when I found it. So let me show you. You get how many? 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 42 eyeshadows. So these are mostly warmish, but you get some cool brands as well. And let me tell you, they are amazing. So let me just swatch few for you. There are some just shimmering and some almost like foiled ones. So they are very similar, the foiled ones, to actually the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadows. And one of them, it's amazing, and that's what I've been using. So let me just swatch few for you. For example, this light one here. Look at that. Now let me swatch that one. They are amazing, especially if you apply them with your finger on maybe wet brush. And the one that I am loving, that is like a champagne peachy one, is this one. And that one is so foiled. You will see it on my eye. Look at that. It's just amazing. There is so many beautiful colors here. Some dark ones. So the only problem, let me show you this copper one. Look at that. So I am pretty happy with this palette. Okay, I probably won't use all the eyeshadows in this palette because they're not all my cup of tea, and also there is no matte shadows in here. So this wouldn't be like your main palette. This one you would just use for the shimmers that you need, and you still then need to use another palette for your crease color. That's why I am using the Blank Canvas Cosmetics as well, which has again all these warm colors, and it comes with the brush as well. So let me show you what I've been doing. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm taking a Zoeva 227 brush, which looks like this. And first I'm going to go into Strut, which is very light, warm peachy color. And I turn my brush the flat way, and I will go in my crease. Then I turn it that way and blend it upwards. Remember, with your hooded eyes, the more hooded your eye, the higher you go with your eyeshadow. So when I open my eye and don't stretch my eyebrow, you can still see the shadow. Let me show you on this eye, if I just went in my crease with it. When I open my eye, that disappears. Yeah, when I talk like this, you can see it, but my eyes are droopy and hooded. So I have to go high up. Okay, now I am going to switch into my Blank Canvas Cosmetics E42, my favorite brush of all. And I'm going to go into Carmin. I don't know if it's called Carmin. It's a very red brown, and I just go in my crease just to darken it a bit. Take my Zoeva 228. I mostly use the same brushes for my eyes, and blend it upwards with nothing on it. This is just purely my blending brush. I don't ever put any color on it. You could leave it there, but I will darken it with Coca. And I'm using again the E42. People ask me, why do you apply different eyeshadows on top of each other? It defeats the purpose. It doesn't. It really makes a difference when you mix the eyeshadows. It gives dimension to it and it changes the look if you just did it with one eyeshadow. Blend. This is like the easiest look. You can do it with any colors you want. And now I'm going to take Black Canvas for Cosmetics E23. Which is a pencil brush. And I'm going to go into Strut, because I like to start with a lighter one first, and then somehow the eyeshadow on your lower lash line shows more than at top, so you go a bit lighter. Okay, and now I'm going to use the Morphe, that foiled one that I told you. They don't have any colors, any names, but right, so if you were looking at it that way, is the one here. I take it on my finger and watch this. I mean, boom. And I just apply it on my mobile lid. It is gorgeous, look at it. So, by the way, I'm not affiliated with Morphe. Like I said, I've never tried it before, but I really like it. And for a, you know, I wish they did smaller, maybe they do smaller palettes, I don't know, because like I said, this one is a nightmare to travel with, obviously, and I wouldn't use all of these, but you know, it's very inexpensive for so many eyeshadows, so even if you don't use some of them, I'm even thinking of depotting the favorite ones and put them maybe in a Z palette. So I could do that. Now I'm going to take some tiny brush, any brush you have. I think this is Real Techniques Detailer brush. Go into that shiny one so I can just get in a corner, because with my finger I will go all over my nose. So I usually put a little line on my waterline, on my top eyelash, but I am going to, with like a kohl liner, I am going to do it with the Hickory eyeshadow from this palette, which is dark brown. I will wet my MAC 253 brush, which is an angle brush. I go into that Hickory and I just press it on my lash line. I might actually put it as well right under my lash line, because normally I would put something in my waterline, but to be honest I would, but I forgot to bring it down here. But I don't have like really favorite kohl liner. I use any, I have quite a few and I like them all. To me it's not a, I'm gonna buff it out a bit, to me it's not like the most important thing, kohl eyeliner. Okay, now for eyelashes, I have been loving using the Tarte Opening Act primer. It does help with your eyelash thickness and length, although you know I have quite long eyelashes because of using my eyelash serum, which I'll put down below, because I always feel, oh, you all know by now the serum I'm using, but I still get answers, so please check the description box for all the products. So I put that on before any mascara. Okay, I like few mascaras, but my still favorite is Kiko Ultra Tech, which has been discontinued, unfortunately, but I think people tell me that you can get it still on eBay. So if you can get just one, because even when I've run out, I will stick the brush from that in another mascara. I don't know what it is about this mascara, but I've loved it for years now. And yeah, I try mascaras that I quite like, but nothing beats this one for me. And I know that because I've been talking about it for so long, a lot of you bought it and you love it too. But like I say, mascaras are such individual choice that it's very hard to recommend mascara. We all have different eyelashes and we have different expectations from mascaras. But I feel this one gives me everything that I want from my lashes. Bourgeois. As you can see, I go over my eyelashes quite a lot. This brush has like comb on one side. Can you see the comb? And then like really crisscrossed bristles. It is a plastic one, it's not a natural brush. And oh, I just love it. I don't know why they've discontinued it. I've tried a few other Kiko mascaras and I don't like any of them as much as I like this one. And that's my eyes done. I love this look, but I can achieve this type of look with loads of other of my eyeshadows. Okay, for my lipstick, you know I am a nude lip girl, but somehow this summer I want a bit more color in my lip. I mean, you could still consider these ones nude lipstick, but you know, I'm talking about these really pale, beigey, pinky ones. I just feel maybe because with the tan and there is too much contrast, I don't know. But I've been enjoying mostly. So I use a lot of my MAC So lip liner. So let me do the first one that I like. And the MAC Fabby. It's a really pretty color. It has a bit of a rose gold shimmer in it. So that's what I've been using. It's got a bit more color than just like a pale, you know, washed out lipstick. But I also been loving that, you've seen me using it all the time, the Queen Bee, the melted matte from Too Faced. This was, you know, when I got this Sephora little lip kit, and I've bought the full size now of it because I absolutely love it. It is matte, but I find it quite comfortable, and sometimes I put that on, and if I feel it's a bit dry, then I put some sort of gloss on the top of it, but I have that color underneath staying. I love this color. It is quite dark mauvey color, so I will apply on that. You can apply it on the top of the lipstick as well, it works. It might be sometimes better because you won't feel as dry, but it obviously won't last as long if you apply on the top of something. And I would use that with the same lip liner. Sometimes I don't use lip liner at all. Absolutely love this color, and I would never ever choose it if I didn't have it in that kit. Okay, my lovely, so these are lipstick on teeth. You see, this is because I've applied it on normal lipstick, so it hasn't completely gone matte and dried. So these are my current full face favorites. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching and stay fabulous. Bye.